Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast. They don't generate any money. And I don't see where she is going from here.
In Meghan's case, it seems to me she's absolutely determined to force feed the narrative. And damn it, they're going to accept it and keep going. And people are just too smart.
Bad news in Harry and Meghan world, their show has been canceled. Season 3 of With Love, Meghan has been canceled by Netflix.
Devastating moment for Prince Harry's reputation and credibility, as he argues with a judge while in the dock, contradicts himself, appears to fib about using the pseudonym Mr. Mischief.
Royal biographer 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 just dropped a jaw-dropping revelation, and it reportedly has Meghan Markle absolutely furious. The timing made the drama even louder, because Prince Harry was in a London courtroom at that same moment, getting emotional and going head-to-head with the judge during a tense exchange. But the real shocker came right after that. Netflix suddenly pulled the brakes on Meghan's big cooking show, stopping production out of nowhere, and 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 is now revealing what he says is the real reason the whole project started falling apart so quickly.
Well, absolutely, but don't even believe that there were 5 options. What you really saw were Harry's and Meghan's fantasy narrative, which they call the truth. What Meghan never really understood, probably not even now, is that when she was chaired as a working royal, it wasn't because she was Meghan Markle, it was because she represented British royalty and all the values of the Queen and all the tradition and the 1,000 years of history. So people were cheering not just the person, but also the institution.
Before getting deeper into this messy story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps the channel keep digging into the truth behind these royal shakeups and all the drama swirling around them. Now here's the twist that caught everyone off guard. This situation reportedly has nothing to do with bad ratings at all. According to the latest claims, it's tied to something far more serious and totally unexpected, and the way everything unfolded is raising a lot of eyebrows.
He lost at the trial court level on this push to make the British royal family pay for his security when he goes to the UK.
𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵, the author behind the explosive biography Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, recently sat down for an interview where he spoke openly about Meghan's Netflix project and why it reportedly collapsed so quickly. His comments instantly grabbed attention and had people talking everywhere. 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 didn't soften his words at all. He said, and I quote, "It turns out she's not any kind of talent." That blunt statement hit like a thunderclap, and reports say Meghan is far from pleased about it. The remark sparked even more buzz around the situation.
Once they realised that myself, my wife, and our kids are happier outside of the institution, please just look at the fact, look at the risks, look at the threat, look at the impact that if anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, look where the responsibility lies.
But 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 didn't just toss out that claim and walk away. Not even close. He spent years digging deep into Meghan's story, speaking with more than 80 people who had worked with her, known her personally, or crossed paths with her in professional settings. According to him, he came into this investigation fully prepared, stacking up interviews, notes, and details before making any bold statements. From 𝗠𝗵𝗵's perspective, Netflix executives reportedly began to worry not long after signing that massive $100 million deal with Harry and Meghan.
What a manipulation. My father's grandchildren. They're gonna and it will be his fault.
It's gaslighting on a grand scale.
Within about 6 months, he claims some insiders started realizing the partnership might not deliver the kind of results they expected. According to his account, the situation reportedly started sliding downhill when executives felt the projects in development were not producing the kind of content they believed viewers were eager to watch. The pressure behind the scenes quickly started building. The project called With Love, Meghan was supposed to be her big Hollywood comeback. It was meant to show that she could stand right next to lifestyle legends like Martha Stewart or Ina Garten and hold her own in that space. The idea sounded polished and glamorous on paper, and the expectations around it were huge. But 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 pointed out what he described as a major problem. In his view, Meghan was missing one key ingredient: authenticity.
It's almost like Harry 2.0 is Brooklyn Beckham. Have you seen any of this action where...
Yes, I'm into it.
I'm so
very into
it because doesn't talk to his father, fall out with the...
He was trying to humiliate her by clearly suggesting she like came onto him. There was a little like incestual dance.
Oof.
He argued that audiences in 2026 are sharp and quick to notice when something feels forced or overly staged. According to Bauer, that disconnect is where the situation really started to unravel. He also explained that, from his perspective, the challenge wasn't only about the show itself. He suggested the bigger issue was Meghan's overall approach to the project and how it came across to viewers. She aimed to present herself as this warm, down-to-earth personality who enjoys cooking, hosting, and bringing people together around the table. But according to critics like Tom Bauer, the image didn't land the way it was supposed to, and many viewers felt the vibe didn't come across as genuine on screen. Bauer also raised another point that caught a lot of attention. He argued that the family-first image Meghan often presents doesn't always match what has been reported publicly. He pointed to the period when her father, Thomas Markle, went through a serious health crisis, noting that reports at the time said she did not visit or contact him during that difficult moment. That moment struck a lot of people as cold, especially when your public image is built around themes like love, family, and connection.
He holds on to these terrible, unhappy moments with Meghan, who he says, she's absolute misery, but, that's not true either. And she wasn't around in the late 1990s. I mean, it's a sort of extraordinary way of behaving.
Critics quickly started questioning the contrast between the brand and the real-life headlines that were circulating at the time. During the interview, Bauer spoke very directly about it. He laid out his opinion without softening the message and argued that the situation raised uncomfortable questions. In his view, the contrast between promoting strong family values while being publicly distant from a parent is something many observers find difficult to understand. And the conversation didn't stop there. Once people started looking at how the show actually performed, the numbers grabbed even more attention. According to reports being discussed online with Love, Meghan landed at number 1,217 on Netflix rankings during the second half of 2025. Yes, 1,217th place out of all the available content during that period.
Even season 2 of her show was fake. It was not a season 2, it was a lie.
The statistic alone had viewers doing a double take. That ranking meant Meghan's show was almost invisible on the platform. With so much content on Netflix, landing that low made it hard for the series to stand out or build real momentum with viewers. Reports said the show pulled in roughly 2 million views over 4 months, which many commentators argued was surprisingly low considering her global name recognition. For context, there are YouTube channels run by regular creators, with no celebrity host at all, that can pull in bigger numbers than that in a single month. That comparison alone had people raising their eyebrows. Think about it for a second. Meghan Markle was once one of the most talked about women in the world, and she signed a Netflix deal reportedly worth millions. Yet when it came to a simple lifestyle and cooking series, the numbers didn't appear to match the level of hype surrounding the project. Even the holiday special reportedly did only slightly better, reaching around 2.4 million views. But despite that small bump, reports said it still landed near 1,500th place in Netflix rankings, which critics argued was a surprisingly low spot for someone once promoted as a major star.
He wanted half in, half out. He wanted his own cake and eat it. And the royal family said, no, you're either in the royal family or not in the royal family.
April 2025, she said it's the happiest she's ever been. She's having a wonderful time. She can't believe it, and she's happy and grateful. Now, what sort of idiot would say that in court when he talks to the person herself has given something completely different?
Tom Bauer didn't hold back when discussing the situation. According to him, Netflix kept trying to make Meghan's project succeed because they believed there was huge potential in the partnership. The streaming giant was reportedly hoping for major exclusives connected to the royal world, something that would pull massive global attention. Some commentators even speculated the platform might have been hoping for projects like a major Princess Diana documentary, a revealing royal story, or other behind-the-scenes insights connected to Harry and Meghan's experiences. The expectation was big, dramatic content that would spark conversations everywhere. But according to Bauer's take, the reality turned out very different. Instead of explosive reveals, he claimed the platform ended up with a calm lifestyle show featuring moments like arranging flowers or placing pretzels into bags. Viewers expecting something bold or exciting felt surprised by the quieter tone of the series. Bauer also said that, in his view, some executives were caught off guard by how low-key and restrained Meghan appeared away from the spotlight during production. He said she didn't come across as spontaneous, funny, or naturally warm. According to Bauer, the energy on screen felt overly planned, almost like every moment had been carefully mapped out in advance. In his view, that kind of controlled presentation made the show feel stiff, and audiences could sense it right away. Bauer also argued that Netflix gave Meghan nearly every advantage possible. The project reportedly had experienced producers, a strong budget, and plenty of creative freedom to shape the show however she wanted.
And even the publishers couldn't quite believe some of the things which I discovered. And one of the big things at that time was sensitivity reading. There was a great fear that she would play the race card.
I was doing an interview to offer them a platform to tell their story about why they left. And that was my number one intention, was just clarity on why did you leave? And so some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me. And those surprises are now referred to as bombs.
But despite those resources, he claimed the final product still struggled to capture the kind of excitement or connection that keeps viewers coming back for more. What really caught attention, though, was Bauer's deeper analysis of the situation. He suggested the bigger issue might not be talent or opportunity, but attitude. According to him, focusing too heavily on personal image can make it harder to connect with everyday viewers, which becomes a major challenge when trying to build a lifestyle brand around relatability.
The more Meghan must have been convinced of her importance to the monarchy. Do you still think she's that delusional? And maybe the answer is watching her at Kevin Costner's 805 Live event in $300,000 worth of jewelry, including Diana's Cartier watch.
Bauer pointed out that many successful lifestyle personalities share one key trait: authenticity. He brought up Martha Stewart as an example, noting how she built her brand step by step through business experience, practical skills, and a style that audiences felt was genuine. Bauer also compared the situation to other lifestyle figures. Even Gwyneth Paltrow, who some critics say can seem a little out of touch at times, still comes across as genuinely herself to her audience. But when it came to Meghan, Bauer argued that the energy felt different. In his view, it seemed less natural and more like someone carefully playing a role instead of simply being real. He claimed that in today's media world, that kind of thing is difficult to hide. Audiences are sharp. They pick up on tone, body language, and authenticity very quickly. According to Bauer, viewers can sense when something feels overly staged, and he believes that reaction played a part in how people responded to the show.
Wherever she is, whether it's at Costner or in Colombia or in Nigeria or wherever, she's always, her publicist will reveal that she's wearing one of Diana's pieces of jewelry.
Prince Harry, his heart seems to have softened, or there's been some sort of evolution. So I do think you're right that a lot of us were kind of caught off guard by the Prince Andrew decision, because we had grown accustomed to cuddly Charles, Grandpa Charles, with the grandkids in his lap. And when I saw the news, I thought, I don't know if I'll ever see anything like this again in my lifetime, but maybe I will because of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Bauer also said that some individuals who worked on the Netflix production shared tough experiences behind the scenes. According to what he was told, Meghan could be very particular during filming, often asking for scenes to be redone if she didn't like how something appeared on camera. He claimed she paid close attention to details like lighting, camera angles, and wardrobe choices. However, critics in his account suggested that the focus sometimes leaned more toward presentation than making the overall content feel lively and entertaining. One story Bauer shared about the production especially caught people's attention. Bauer shared another story that he said revealed a lot about the mood on set. According to his account, Meghan was extremely focused on how she appeared on camera, even insisting that her hair looked perfectly styled in every single shot. For a show centered on cooking, he claimed the attention to appearance sometimes felt closer to a fashion shoot than a relaxed kitchen setting. Think about how most real cooks operate. They usually tie their hair back, roll up their sleeves, and focus on the food in front of them. The kitchen can get messy, busy, and fast-paced, and that's part of what makes cooking shows feel authentic and fun to watch.
Your show's been canceled. You're not going to be the next Martha Stewart, Meghan. I mean, the fact that Meghan Markle had a cooking show and she moved pretzels from one bag into another was crazy.
Professionally, they've gone down dramatically, and I predicted it in the book, but even I would not have thought it'd be that accelerated. I think personally, I think they've separated their professional lives, but I think what's really a great problem for them now, as of in the last few weeks, is that Meghan has got no real income anymore. She's finished.
But according to Bauer's description, the atmosphere during filming was different. He claimed Meghan aimed to keep everything, looking polished and camera-ready, almost like posing for a glossy magazine cover rather than jumping fully into the cooking process. In his view, that approach made the show feel less natural to audiences. He also pointed to other elements that critics questioned, such as filming in a rented mansion instead of a personal home and using carefully arranged background details like decorative beehives. Even some of the celebrity guest appearances, according to commentators he spoke with, seemed a little stiff on screen. Then came the reaction that reportedly shocked many people involved. Bauer claimed Meghan was extremely upset when Netflix decided to stop the show. According to his account, she believed the project had the potential to win awards and establish her as a major name in lifestyle entertainment. Instead, he said the response from viewers caught her completely off guard when many described the show as slow and difficult to stay engaged with. What a reality check. While all the Netflix drama was unfolding, Prince Harry was back in London making headlines for a completely different reason, and the timing added even more attention to the situation surrounding the couple.
And that's the thing about Meghan. She's a very, very deceitful person, which they've created, and they're going to earn a fortune out of it. And don't forget, there's Harry's book still to come next month. And then at some stage, there'll be Meghan's book. I mean, they're making a career out of this stuff.
Harry appeared in court as part of his legal case against the Daily Mail, arguing that phone hacking and other privacy violations had taken place between 2001 and 2013, long before he even met Meghan. The case itself already had major public interest, but the tension inside the courtroom quickly became a talking point. According to reports from the hearing, the exchange between Harry and the judge became tense at several moments. Observers said the discussion grew heated as questions were raised about the details of the claims being presented. At one point, the judge reportedly had to remind Harry to focus on answering the questions clearly and avoid interrupting during the proceedings. For many watching the case unfold, it was a striking scene, seeing a royal figure being corrected in such a formal courtroom setting by a senior judge experienced in media law. During the hearing, the judge reportedly pushed back at one point and told Harry, "You're doing what lots of litigants do. You tend to argue." The judge reminded him that it wasn't his role to argue the entire case during testimony and that he should focus on answering the questions being asked. But the moment quickly turned emotional. According to courtroom reports, Harry struggled to keep his composure while speaking about the pressure he and his family have faced from the media over the years. Witnesses said his voice began to shake, and he appeared visibly upset as he spoke about the situation. At one point, he said, "They have made my wife's life an absolute misery."
The authenticity is really what the issue is, and there's, they just hired a whole new PR firm.
Because in the end, one of Meghan's many deficiencies is she has nothing to say. There's no originality. There's no profundity.
The statement created a heavy moment inside the courtroom, with people reacting in very different ways to the emotional testimony. What made the situation even more surprising to some observers was the timeline involved. The legal case centers on alleged events between 2001 and 2013, years before Meghan Markle entered Harry's life. Yet her name still came up during parts of the discussion, which sparked even more conversation outside the courtroom. Commentators like Tom Bauer have pointed to this as part of a larger pattern they believe they see in Harry's public appearances. In Bauer's view, Harry often connects many of his concerns back to Meghan and their shared experiences with media attention. Another detail people noticed was that Meghan was not present in London for the hearing. For such a high-profile moment in Harry's legal fight, her absence became another topic that commentators and royal watchers quickly began discussing. Meanwhile, Meghan was reportedly back in California, nearly 5,000 miles away, sharing cheerful moments on social media while the courtroom drama unfolded in London. That contrast quickly became a major talking point among commentators and royal watchers following the case. According to 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵's interpretation, the situation highlighted what he believes is a deeper dynamic between the couple. He has argued in past interviews that Harry often appears strongly influenced by Meghan in public matters. Moments like the emotional courtroom testimony only fueled more discussion among critics who share that view.
They bought 12 episodes and you sliced it. What do you? Everybody
Craft
knows
services
that.
did not come back. The trucks did not drive up the driveway again and relight the whole place.
What I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013, and she wanted wealth and she wanted fame, and she targeted. There's no doubt she targeted Harry.
The scene itself was striking. There was Harry in court speaking passionately about the impact media coverage had on his wife, saying it had made her life extremely difficult. At the same time, reports of Meghan continuing her normal routine back in California created a contrast that many observers online couldn't stop talking about. Then there's the irony that critics often bring up. During the hearing, Harry spoke about privacy and media intrusion, something he has challenged in several legal cases. Yet critics also point out that he shared many personal stories in his memoir, Spare, a 400-page book that revealed detailed moments from his life and relationships. Commentators like Bauer have highlighted this as what they see as a contradiction. Their argument is that publicly sharing personal experiences through interviews, streaming deals, and memoirs can make debates about privacy far more complicated in the eyes of the public.
Can't ignore them if they keep popping up doing stuff like this. That's the thing. We're kind of in a mutually abusive, toxic relationship, aren't we? The media and Harry and Meghan, because they keep doing stuff wanting attention. Then they get quite adverse reaction most of the time. Then they react really badly to the reaction. And so it goes on.
Well, what it really boils down to is the threat they offer. If the threat was punctured, which I hope my book will do.
I don't know that he would hang on with Meghan because, as you know, he's not in the top 1,000 that for Netflix.
For many critics, it just doesn't add up. The backlash online has been intense, with people across social media sharing strong reactions to both the court case and the ongoing media debate surrounding Harry and Meghan. Comment sections have been buzzing with thousands of reactions. One post that reportedly collected more than 1,400 likes said, "If Harry wanted privacy, he wouldn't have released Spare." Another comment that gained hundreds of likes read, "Court is for facts, not feelings." Those short responses quickly spread across discussion threads and sparked even more debate. A number of viewers say they feel exhausted by what they describe as a constant cycle of public disputes, interviews, and media battles. Some critics argue the couple continues to present themselves as victims of unfair coverage, while others push back and say the situation is more complicated than that. Many online comments also bring up the details Harry revealed in his memoir, Spare. Readers remember that the book included deeply personal stories involving members of the royal family, including his brother William, Catherine, their father, and even past relationships. Because of that, critics say the public conversation around privacy has become much more complicated.
It's unlikely that there will be a third series of With Love Meghan on Netflix, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, definitely. That's what they've said. 2 series vowed, and there's not going to be another one.
These are things you would know if this were actually your friend. So I'm going to miss their latent fear in interaction.
When it comes to Meghan's Netflix project, reactions online have been just as intense. Some viewers were openly critical of the show and its style, while others said it simply didn't hold their attention. The online commentary has been blunt. One person wrote, "She's made our lives a misery, listening to all her behavior and hypocrisy." Another comment that spread widely said, "Finally, Netflix found its spine." Reactions like, "These show just how heated the public debate around the couple has become." That comment spread like wildfire online. As the debate kept growing, many people started pointing back to predictions 𝗠𝗲𝗵𝗵 has made in past interviews about how public opinion around Harry and Meghan might eventually shift.
The internet is undefeated. You cannot fool it. You will never get away with it.
Be doing anymore, which I'm not shocked because nobody was watching it. Okay, that show is like number 5,206 on the Netflix charts.
Bauer has argued for some time that audiences could grow tired of what he describes as a repeated narrative of conflict with the media and the royal family. According to his view, once people feel they've heard the same story too many times, attention naturally begins to fade. Some commentators now claim that shift might already be happening. They argue that instead of outrage or heated support, many members of the public simply seem less interested in the ongoing drama than they once were. In media discussions, Bauer summed this idea up with a line that keeps getting repeated. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. For critics, that quote captures what they believe. The current mood looks like
turn around and complain that the media is invading your privacy.
I bet you guys they put so much money into the show and then no one tuned in to watch it that it was just not a good return on investment.
In Meghan's mind, she is Diana.
Yes.
I mean, Diana Spencer is Meghan Spencer. And that was all part of her imagination that somehow she could inherit the glow of her dead mother-in-law.
Bauer has also speculated about the future of the couple's partnership with Netflix. In his analysis, he suggested the company could eventually step away from the deal if future projects don't deliver strong results. The first-look arrangement they announced has even been described by one commentator as a kind of slow ghosting, a gradual step back without a dramatic public breakup. He also raised questions about finances tied to their media ventures. According to some reports being discussed by commentators, large amounts of money have already gone into projects that didn't end up gaining major traction. In Bauer's telling, that kind of pressure can add urgency to producing something that truly connects with audiences. Their California mansion reportedly comes with a huge mortgage, and maintaining that kind of luxury lifestyle isn't cheap.
A documentary on his mother would be, by him, surrounded by all of these yes people.
It would be totally inaccurate. I mean, from his own book where he says for a long time he thought his mother had just disappeared and now believes she'd been murdered by the paparazzi, which is ridiculous.
According to commentators like Tom Bauer, the pressure to keep major projects and income flowing could be growing behind the scenes. Bauer claims that recent moves suggest Meghan may be trying to reset her public image. He pointed to reports that she reconnected with the PR firm Sunshine Sachs, a company that previously helped manage her publicity during earlier stages of her media career. In his view, that step signals an effort to rebuild momentum in Hollywood.
It is filling most people with nausea and fury, what they're doing, because they're setting themselves up as the victims, but in fact they're the aggressors.
He also mentioned rumors circulating in entertainment circles about attempts to reconnect with major industry figures, including Jennifer Aniston. According to the speculation Bauer discussed, the goal would be staying close to influential names within Hollywood's inner social network. Then there was the unusual buzz around her merchandise ideas, including bookmarks printed with the phrase, "fell asleep here." Bauer argued that moments like this show someone throwing out many different ideas, hoping one of them finally catches public attention. On top of that, he suggested Harry's legal fight could face serious challenges. In Bauer's analysis, the case may be difficult to prove if it relies heavily on personal accounts rather than strong documented evidence.
I don't think I think, however, that if he did a program about his mother, that would be for money.
Yes.
And I think it would be a shocking act of further disloyalty.
I can't even be around it as a consumer. I can't imagine how Harry handles this as a full-time partner.
He also said the tense moments during Harry's courtroom testimony, including interruptions and emotional exchanges, may not have helped his position in such a formal legal setting. If Harry ends up losing the case, Bauer warns the consequences could be massive. He says the prince could be forced to cover enormous legal fees, possibly reaching tens of millions of pounds. A financial hit that big would hurt not just in the bank account but also in public reputation. Tom Bauer has been warning about this situation for years. He argues that Harry and Meghan walked away from royal life believing something bigger was waiting for them in America. In their minds, it looked like unlimited fame, massive deals, and total freedom to build their own empire. But according to Bauer, they didn't fully understand what they were leaving behind. He says the royal institution provided powerful protection, influence, and prestige that quietly opened doors everywhere.
the way she's artificially building herself up with like the humble brags that she constantly does. She's so incredibly needy.
And his mother had amazing status. She looked beautiful. She had terrific poise. She worked very hard at being a royal. She was very empathetic with a lot of sick people. None of the things that Meghan would ever dream of doing.
Those royal titles carried serious weight. And once the couple stepped outside that system, the safety net disappeared. From Bauer's point of view, building a global brand without that royal backing turned out to be far tougher than expected. Suddenly, they were competing in the brutal entertainment world where attention shifts fast and audiences move on quickly. Now, critics say the shine is fading. Projects are struggling to gain traction, the buzz isn't as loud as it once was, and some observers believe public interest is slowly cooling down. If you've been following this whole saga, make sure you like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Tom Bauer was right about Harry and Meghan's future? Or do you believe they still have time to turn everything around and make a huge comeback?